Seeking a normal adolescence, a special operations agent fakes her own death and enrolls in high school as an exchange student. The film begins by showing a group of little girls being trained to become assassins at Prescott Academy, a government-run secret institution. The organization leader, Hardman, brings them in as young as 10 months old to teach them everything they need to know about life without the support of outside sources. Little girls at Prescott Academy receive training to be killing machines. At 3 years old, they learn to shoot with guns that are taller than they are. They are taught to drive when they are 5 years old. And by the following age, they can handle a high-speed automobile pursuit relatively easily. Every day, they practice various sorts of fighting skills, so that when they reach puberty, they can be employed for a variety of deadly missions without detection. The #1 guideline that Hardman follows is no attachments. As a result, despite the fact that all of the girls are orphans, they have never been given the opportunity to build relationships. They are not given any names and are only identified by their agency by numbers. Currently, the best student in the academy is number 83. She shoots like a professional killer and fights better than everyone else. However, the no attachments clause never made sense to her. One day, the sisters are assigned the chore of poking a plush toy with a pen. While the other females follow instructions, 83 holds the toy to her chest. Hardman uses her as a poor example and pulls off the toy's head. 83 has emotions stacking up inside her, ready to spill one day. As time passes, she matures into a teen with exceptional fighting abilities. Her main competitor is number 84, who has always been the second best at everything. She hates 83 and would kill her if they were not working for the same agency. 83 is the first in her class to be enabled, which means she gets assigned to perilous missions before her peers. As usual, 84 is dissatisfied, but she lacks the authority to object. After being activated, 83 goes on several missions. Since she was a teenager, she has never been accused of being an agent. She finishes all of her responsibilities rapidly, pleasing Hardman. She still longs for the usual teenage life she never had. During one of her missions, she is spying on a target when she observes a party next door. Seeing the teens dance and have fun helps 83 understand that her situation is not typical. She has missed a significant portion of her childhood and does not want her adolescence to be in vain. 83 decides to leave the organization and its responsibilities when she finds a chance. But first and foremost, she must understand what it is to be a regular girl. She begins to acquire information on teenage high school life by watching movies such as Mean Girls, The Princess Diary, and Clueless. Each time she goes on a mission, she buys magazines to read covertly during boring meetings. One day, her habit brings her into problems when Hardman discovers her reading a magazine while briefing her on a vital operation. He orders her to return to her senses because the following assignment is extremely risky. Victoria, an arms dealer and the most dangerous woman in the mafia, was apprehended in a city 8 hours ago. She must be apprehended alive within 2 days, or she will disappear again. 84 want to go on the mission, expecting that it will make her Hardman's favorite, but 83 is assigned to perform the task. In the following scene, Victoria is seen in a construction area with 3 hostages. She threatens them and removes their blindfolds. Suddenly, the female hostage reveals that she is 83. In a moment, 83 attacks Knox and defeats all of her henchmen. She hooks a hook on Knox that connects to an airplane flying overhead. Finally, they are dragged up to the plane, and 83's mission is complete, but Knox still has her gun and points it at her. 83 cuts the harness and falls into the river below, while Knox is dragged into the plane. When Hardman observes 83's absence, he attempts to reach her via a gadget linked to her wrist. 83 comes out of the water and hears him. However, she does not respond, knowing that this is her only chance to escape from her previous world. She throws aside her watch and vows to never look back. Back on the plane, Hardman is informed that they are not receiving any pictures or audio from her. He considers her inactive and continues to interrogate Victoria. Following that, 83 adopts a completely new persona under the name Megan. She also moves to Newton High School and uses a website to find a family to live with. At the airport, her family arrives to take her up. Mrs. Larson is the mother, Parker is her son, and Liz is her caustic teenage daughter. Liz is unhappy with Megan's arrival and is having difficulty adjusting to her presence in the house. She finds it strange that Megan is so enthused about simple things like riding the school bus. Still, to appease her mother, she offers to assist Megan around the school. Megan dresses up in an outrageous attire for her first day of school, drawing everyone's attention. A few moments later, a bully named Gooch refers to her as fresh meat while everyone laughs. Liz makes her feel better by giving her less patterned clothes to wear. As a foreign exchange student, she is required to speak in front of the entire school during the morning assembly. Before coming on stage, she meets Roger, a geeky guy who maintains the school band's audio-visual equipment. Megan refers to him as a nerd based on the movies she has seen. She is introduced to the entire school, but they make fun of her by calling her names. They soon start asking her to return to Canada, where she came from. When the chanting becomes too loud, Cash, the school band leader, interrupts the mob with a song. He is the most popular boy in school, and many people like him. Megan is likewise instantly drawn to him. During the lunch break, some cheerleaders invite her to eat with them, but she declines, assuming they are mean like the dancers in her favorite movies. In biology class, she meets Roger again and becomes friends with him. He appears to be attracted to Megan, but all she can think about is Cash. The following day, she is assigned as Cash's lab partner. However, other girls in the class beg her to choose another partner, since they want Cash for themselves. After class, the girls inform Megan that Cash prefers girls who play the school's mascot. Megan doesn't realize they're trying to set her up and goes to audition for the school's mascot. She gets chosen immediately and called to practice for the next game. During the exercise, a group of masked men approaches her and attempts to take her. Megan uses her abilities to quickly defeat them, surprising everyone around her. She suspected the masked persons were Hardman's operatives, but it turned out they were guys from a rival institution trying to make trouble. By the time she realizes it, everyone is filming her. They share the footage on social media, much to her dismay. Victoria is detained and interrogated by Hardman at Prescott's facility. She also understands that his method of stealing an excellent childhood from young girls is wrong. She calls him out on it, but he claims he's doing it for a good cause. Victoria also has a special interest in number 84 and intends to use her to escape. They quickly learn about Megan's viral video and believe she is now working for a rival group. The next day at school, everyone is talking about Megan's impressive fighting abilities. She becomes one of the popular girls overnight. Her day is made much better when Cash invites her to his band practice after school. When she gets there, she meets Roger and chats with him while waiting for Cash. Roger enjoys her demeanor and notices that they have a lot in common. Megan, on the other hand, is too preoccupied with Cash to notice that he has feelings for her. Later, she is invited to a high school party hosted by her bully Gooch at his house. Megan is ecstatic because she has only heard of such parties in movies. While coming home that day, she is kidnapped by Prescott's men. Hardman believes she is working for a rival organization and refuses to trust her when she says she just wants to live a normal life. He injects her with a truth serum and discovers she is telling the truth. Hardman feels entitled to her life because he has taught her everything she knows. He orders her to return to the base in 2 days. Following that, his people toss Megan on the front porch of the house to make her appear drunken. When Megan encounters Roger again, she invites him to Gooch's party, but because his father is stringent about parties, he refuses to attend. Megan would feel better if he was present, as he is her sole friend at school. Later that night, Megan arrives at the party with Liz, who is forced by her mother to accompany her. Megan is surprised to see 84, who is now known as Heather, at the party. Megan believes Hardman sent Heather to keep an eye on her, but Heather hasn't either confirmed or denied the claim. Roger also joins the party looking for Megan but is saddened to see her kissing Cash. By the end of the night, Cash had asked her to be his homecoming date. Megan boards the school bus the next morning, only to discover that Hardman has disguised himself as the driver. He is there to warn her that Victoria has escaped from Prescott and intends to exact revenge on her. He offers her to return to Prescott, but Megan declines. Later, we see her and Liz driving to school, trailed by a masked assassin. During a car chase, Megan tells Liz the truth about her previous life. They eventually smash into a junkyard alongside the assassin's car. Megan recognizes the assassin as Heather based on the aroma of her perfume. Liz is in the hospital following the crash. Megan wants to leave before more people are wounded as a result of her actions, but Liz believes Megan's attempt to escape the family would be much worse. Beginning that day, they get along great. Megan tells Liz everything about her life as an agent. They shop for homecoming outfits together and prepare for the momentous night. Liz goes out with Gooch, who has changed after they had been together at the party. Meanwhile, Cash and Megan traveled together. Megan had hoped that the night would be wonderful, but Cash barely spoke to her. After spending some time with him, she finds that his entire demeanor has become popular. She dumps him and approaches Roger, asking him for a dance. To her amazement, he declines and instead turns to Heather, his date for the night. The girls dispute over who gets to be his date, and they eventually fight. They wrestled around the stage, ruining the decor. Eventually, they arrive in the kitchen where Heather is getting ready to stab Megan. Liz sneaks up on Heather, stabbing her in the leg with a corn dog stick. Megan then slaps Heather over the head, knocking her out. Following that, the girls return home only to discover that Victoria and her people have kidnapped Mrs. Larson and Parker. Megan fights them until Liz is captured. She stops resisting for the sake of her family's protection, but she remains confident that Hardman will come to her rescue. Victoria mocks her for being so naive and says that she was the very first Prescott girl, the number one. She, like Megan, left Prescott when he robbed her of her childhood. She challenges Megan to a one-on-one fight, which she easily wins. Suddenly, Hardman arrives with reinforcements to assist Megan in capturing Victoria. They break in and use a tranquilizer rifle to knock Victoria out. Megan hugs Hardman and expresses her gratitude for his aid. In the final scene, she approaches Roger on his way home and takes him with her on a helicopter flight.